Hey, all you language lovers. Thanks for joining me this week while I record the Grammar Girl podcast. If you want to subscribe to the audio version, you can find it at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, or pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. And I guess you could hit subscribe here too. I'm still new to YouTube, so I keep forgetting to say that. Hey, subscribe! Today, I have a segment from Joel Schwartzberg about writing better email, and it has already changed the way I write my emails. It's great stuff. And given the times we're in, I have another segment about why you see the word canceled spelled two different ways. Let's get started. If you had to deliver a speech, would you knowingly choose the wrong title, bury your point, or say things that would get you in trouble with your colleagues or bosses? Of course not. But many of us unconsciously do these things while writing work emails all the time. They're not just sloppy, though. These common errors can dilute and even destroy the impact you're hoping to achieve, as well as sabotage your credibility. Here are 7 of the most destructive email mistakes and how you can avoid them. Mistake number 1 is a subject line that the thread has outgrown. Few things are more misleading than a new thought living under an old subject line. When your subject line is re Tuesday, your recipient isn't going to know that you've hit upon breakthrough marketing ideas since you initially scheduled a routine meeting for Tuesday. To fix it, just amend the subject line to reflect the new topic. Don't be afraid to change a thread's subject line if it's become obsolete or if you're taking it in a new direction. So, for instance, new ideas to engage millennials is more likely to get read than re Tuesday. What's more, your colleagues are likely to take you far more seriously overall if you aren't unintentionally misleading them. Mistake number 2 is that your emails don't have a clear point. Why send a pointless message that wastes both your time and your recipient's time? You may not even realize that your email doesn't have a clear point, confusing that with a theme or topic. Here's a quick test. Can you express your point aloud in one sentence? If not, then you're simply sending a bunch of ideas organized under a general umbrella and expecting your reader to do the hard work for you. Don't be that person. What you want instead is a reputation as someone who can get straight to what really matters. To fix it, decide what you want your reader to learn before you hit send. Take what you think is your point and add the words, "I believe," to the front of it. If it's not grammatically correct, you probably don't have a real point. Once your point passes that test, make sure it appears within your first 3 sentences, and try to close with another way of saying it. Imagine you're a bicycle messenger and think of your point as the package you're delivering. Mistake number 3 is skipping the greeting. I used to do this. In emails, people often skip the "Hi, so-and-so," but there's value to this friendly gesture, even when you're ditching other formalities. It creates an instant connection that makes the recipient immediately feel comfortable and welcomed, even if only subconsciously. And in order for you to be listened to and considered, you need to establish that connection right off the bat. So always start with a quick greeting. If you're writing to multiple people, consider writing "Hi team" or "Hi everyone." Mistake number 4 is when your thanks ring hollow. The word thanks on its own won't get you far. All it really says is, "You did something, and I saw it, maybe." It's not thoughtful. For the comment to have meaning for your recipients and to bolster your reputation as someone who takes the time to read and listen, you need to tell them why the thing they did was valuable. Say what you're thanking them for. Always include the why when you show appreciation, give credit, and include details. The more the better. Taking the time to be explicit in how you express appreciation in your emails demonstrates your commitment to the team and helps win their trust. Instead of saying "thanks" or even "thanks for organizing the meeting," try something like, Thanks for organizing the meeting. The way you sent out regular updates, and especially the way you handled the last-minute changes, really helped everyone know what they were getting into and feel prepared. Mistake number 5 is too many words. Your point and the words you use to deliver it are two different things. Your goal is to use as few words as possible so that they help deliver your point. Too many emails contain huge blocks of text that bury the point and might even give the impression that you've got something to hide. Just follow these 3 rules. Cut all but the most necessary words. Break paragraphs more than you think you need to, with no more than 2 or 3 sentences in each. And use bullets when you have groups of 3 ideas or more. This will spotlight those ideas and cut out more unnecessary words. Mistake number 6 is having grammar and spelling mistakes. Even though you graduated from high school many moons ago, spelling still counts. Spelling, grammar, and accuracy mistakes can be a huge distraction for a reader and can easily hurt your credibility. Scan for typos before sending and always use spell check. For an even better review, read your email aloud, quietly. You can illuminate errors and redundancies you might otherwise miss. The time you invest in revising your email now can magnify its impact later. And mistake number 7 is when you criticize without offering suggestions. A wise former boss instituted a rule for staff meetings: no criticism without suggestions for correction. That rule made an enormous difference in both morale and productivity of our meetings. And the same is true for email. The best received points are constructive, not destructive. And the people who give constructive feedback ultimately wield the most influence. The next time you send an email criticizing an idea, include suggestions for improving it immediately after you lay out your critique. This shows not only that you're a problem solver, but that you possess leadership skills too. You're more likely to develop strong, long-term working relationships with your recipients this way. No one likes a hit-and-run naysayer in real life, so don't think you can get away with it by email either. That segment was written by Joel Schwartzberg, the Senior Director of Strategic and Executive Communications for the ASPCA, a professional communications trainer and the author of the just-released book, Get to the Point: Sharpen Your Message and Make Your Words Matter. Before we move on, I want to remind you about my Better Writing course from LinkedIn Learning. It has all my best tips to quickly improve your writing, 17 short, effective videos in all. You'll learn how to use commas, how to write in active voice, how to write better bulleted lists, and more. And it's free if you have access to LinkedIn Premium, which a lot of people get through work. And it's also free through many university and county libraries, which sometimes call it lynda.com instead of LinkedIn Learning. Besides my course, they also have thousands of great videos on everything from working from home to public speaking. So check it out today and find out why people have bookmarked individual videos from the Grammar Girl course more than 9,000 times. Next, you're probably seeing the word canceled a lot right now, but should it be spelled with 1 L or 2? Well, it depends on where you live. Canceled with 1 L is more common in American English, and canceled with 2 L's is more common in British English. But these aren't hard and fast rules either. A Google Ngram search of published books shows that both spellings are in use in both countries. The AP Style book, used by many American news outlets, recommends canceled with 1 L. Canceled with 2 L's is clearly the dominant form in British English, which my Canadian and Australian friends tell me is the preferred form in Canadian English and Australian English too. And I'll add that whenever I talk about this rule, I always hear from American friends who tell me they prefer the 2L version. I don't make the rules. I just tell you what they are. And if you aren't bound by a style guide, feel free to use whatever you want. Noah Webster is usually credited with creating American spellings that have fewer letters than British spellings, such as color and flavor and canceled with 1 L. In summary, if you're writing for an American audience, spell canceled with one L. And if you're writing for a British audience, spell canceled with two L's. And if it bothers you that there are two spellings, blame Noah Webster. Finally, I have a familect story. That's like a family dialect. It's a word used by just your family. Here we go.
Hello there. I enjoy your podcast, and I wanted to share my familect story. When my son was little, he was a really picky eater, as children often are. We sent him to a daycare when he was about 5 years old. One day, the daycare provider called and said that my son was very upset and he wanted something to eat, but she couldn't figure out what exactly it was. She wasn't aware of what we fed him at home. He kept repeating, "Give me my Ashvins, give me my Ashvins, talk about food, talk about food." She explained that she pulled apart the cupboards and asked him, "Do you want this, do you want that?" She didn't know what it was, and he got so upset he started to cry, and he hollered, "I want my Ashvins, talk about food." So when she called, I couldn't figure out what she was talking about. So after I hung up the phone, I gave it a lot of thought, and I considered what it could be. And then suddenly it dawned on me, he was talking about his options, because that's how I would feed him. I would say, "You can have this, or you can have this. These are your options. What would you like to eat?" So it's become a thing when in my family now, somebody's hungry, they say, "What are my Ashvins?" And that's how we discuss what we're going to eat that night. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. I find myself feeling sorry for that little boy. If you want to share your family dialect story, leave a voicemail at 83321-4GIRL, and you might hear it on the show. And be sure to call from somewhere quiet. The biggest reason I can't use people's voicemails is because there's too much background noise. I'm Mignon Fogarty, author of the New York Times bestseller, Grammar Girl's Quick and Dirty Tips for Better Writing. Thanks to my producer, Nathan Sams. And that's all. Thanks for listening. And thanks for watching. Bye.